description. I want to start out with some of the and are able to get there, like you can even watch like other Joe and such and see the difference in their demeanor and their actions when they rant, as well as they rant about stuff that matters most of the time, such as microtransactions that actually, or NFTs that actually affect big parts of gaming and people's wallets, where this just feels like it's used as a platform to attack, sadly. And so I want to bring up some YouTubers I think that do a good job, that are respectful, that aren't rude, and I want to first start with RGT. RGT is very respectful. Alone his title is Am I the Only One Who Likes the Callisto Protocol? I think he does a fair job. He doesn't attack the viewer. He's very respectful to the reviewer. And this is going to be a theme with a lot of the people. I want to keep this video short as well. I haven't watched Minstora yet, but I will. And then hopefully that one's not that great. And I have commented the same way as this person on other videos, and this is the first person that's actually lashed out and attacked me the way they have. And I tried to get on a common ground. And at first I thought I did, and I made an earlier message that was late, and I actually acknowledged I deleted that. And yet they made like 2-3 other messages attacking. Even the one that was edited around a similar time. And by the way, I still can't find that my previous message. I looked through latest, that you can select latest, and I still can't find it for whatever reason. I'm not gonna say that he did delete it, but it was just kind of sus. So you also have, I think, L-Sign. Yeah, I think L-Sign's pretty good. I'll mostly go through people I have watched, though. I like Jake Baldino. I think I'm subscribed to, a matter of fact. Does a pretty decent job. I think Cosmic Drifter does a decent job, too. The things that I can see people bringing out about Callisto Protocol, I think that you can have different outfits afterwards, and I think you do have ammo as well as you carry over like your upgrades, so maybe potentially, except for like maybe the beginning stuff where they do kind of force you to use melee weapons, and you mostly have the same melee weapon throughout most of the game. Yes, when it gets upgraded it is a little bit better, but you don't always feel the weight of the upgrades. And I feel like okay, that one's just basically saying average, I guess. But I do like Mion TV. I agree with his how Metacritic is ruining gaming. I don't like Metacritic in general. Metacritic's really stupid. And I also think that just like I also just think that that it's disrespectful. It's not something I think Glenn Schofield would like either. I don't think he would like his game used as a way to attack people. I think it's very disgraceful. I think it's very disgusting if he knew it. And I feel like it would probably be pretty terrible if, because I think that if this person kept videos like this YouTuber would have been probably fine if they just stuck to what they had before. It was because of this video mostly that it started to get out of hand. And there's just a very different demeanor, a very different approach to the situation. And honestly, it's not... I hate to, like, I don't want to come across rude with this part, and I do apologize if I do, but it's really simplifying stuff in a not well thought out way, I'll say. There's worse words you could use. And I feel like if this YouTuber got bigger while still doing stuff like this, people like Actman would probably eventually come out and be like, oh, your hot take is terrible. And that's how I feel it would grow, and hopefully I do genuinely think that like this person needs help, because I looked through their comments. I sadly have to click on their video again. I'll go over some other things. I want to keep this video brief because I don't want a super long freaking video once again. So when I was looking through my comments when I was looking for my own, because you can look for newest, you can select top or newest, and I've been seeing other people basically saying, like, having the same things where they feel harassed or like they don't like what's being said. And this person like literally lashes out. Like, most YouTubers will not lash out at you. This person's first instinct is to lash out at people. That's not good already off the bat. So this person just says your video puts words and accusations in the viewers' mouths rather than just speaking about the positives of Callisto Protocol. I didn't do or say anything you and your video are accusing the audience of. My only gripe is the combat. If they fix that, I think it would be a pretty okay game. And yeah, like, that's not a bad... Is that really that bad? Like, he's saying it would be an okay game, and his only gripe is the combat. So what does he reply? And then I guess somebody kind of corrects him, though I do think he is meaning the thing that he's saying. But their first thing is, well, if you're not anyone in any of the topics in the video, which already brings up something kind of sus, like, why would you be bringing somebody up in the video? That's weird, unless it's a video like this one. If you're bothered about the accusations, quotations, it's quite concerning why that gets to you. It seems like you related to one of the topics if that's the case. The combat was fine in the game. That's not nice. That is not nice. Like, there's worse the words you can use. It sounds like you're using them as a motivation, and it sounds like you're rewording things to fit your point of view because you're associating them with relating to one of the topics, and that already brings up suspicions. And then the person said, combat didn't need to be fixed. I learned how to adjust to the game and won every encounter. So he liked that one, but he didn't like the previous one. He hearted a lot of ones that sided with him, which is fine. And I heart most of my comments, and I mean, it makes sense that you wouldn't heart ones that you... I wouldn't do that is if somebody's genuinely being mean, and they aren't, like, using genuine criticisms. I would heart them if they were using genuine criticisms. I wouldn't fault their criticisms. And then this guy says, lol, someone who actually gets it, thank you. And it's like, okay. I don't know what that one's saying. I'll read that one another time. I did write a long-ass comment. I do that a lot. The reason I do that is I always believed I have ADHD, though my doctor never confirmed it. But I have this problem where if I forget something, I have to write it down, or else I'm going to lose it completely. Like, I have that a lot, and it sucks, and it's one of the things that haunts me the most. So, like, if I think of something, or I find something out of place, or something that I find wrong or criticized, or not necessarily wrong, just, once again, criticism. I don't think I was being unfair, but if I was, then I am sorry, but that's just me. I don't know what else to say, and I don't think the things I said were necessarily wrong or bad. Looks like, I guess there's more comments on here? Or am I looking at something else? What is this? Oh, okay, it's just a... Okay, I thought I was looking at something else. So I made my comment. This person... By the way, this person, after I tried to make peace with them, and then they were rude again after I made 2 jokes, And by the way, those two comments my friends mostly recommended. I read every comment I wrote back to my friends, and then I read, even though I didn't really put periods and stuff, I was kind of in a rush once again, because, like, when I have the thought in my head, I kind of rush through it. I'm sorry I do that. But it makes for a lot of kind of bad typos and stuff, so I'm sorry for that. But, like, this person, after, like, and I did edit my messages once again, as I said, and such, but, like, it needed to, like, I did that mostly before, or during the comment that I deleted, that I did acknowledge in that comment that I deleted. And they also brought up something about RE Village that didn't really pertain to the situation at hand, and then they tried to push the blame onto me, even though I said, if that is so. I ended with, if that is true. So I'm still not blaming them, I'm just saying, if it is true that this is happening, it is very dirty. Yes, it is. And then they try to push that blame back onto me, turning it around. But I ended with, if that is true. I wasn't totally 100% blaming them. I couldn't find it, and that was an earlier comment anyways, and they replied to it after all of my comments have already been done and said. And then they kept replying, and this one was the most recent one, even after that one. And it made no, like, other than I did put more into that comment. I did it after, yeah, at least I think after that. Yeah, I definitely did it after that previous comment, but that comment was still old, and he still replied to it. Of course, he's replying the most. And he said, I already said all I needed to say to you, so did I. If you don't like the video, then that's your issue and opinion. He keeps using the opinion thing, too. I don't think you know how to use that. And you're using it aggressive, you're using it rude, and you're very much in a way of using that as a scapegoat to say, my opinion's objective, yours is wrong, without actually saying that. And sometimes you have actually said it in your previous comments. So that's the irony of that, and the hypocriticism of it, ironically again. You commented like 5+ times. I don't think I did. Maybe I did, but once again, I can't find that other comment if I did. So I can only see 3 or 4 here. And then he goes on, and I've responded to all of them. The video is set in stone and isn't changing. Like, he's assuming I care, or is gonna want him to change it. I don't care about that part. What I do care about is the fact that you're using it to attack people. It is more the fact that you're attacking people, not the video itself. The video is very bad when it comes to the concept matter, I'm sorry to say. It's got a very different tone and attitude to it. It's using some really weird, out-of-place examples that make no sense. There's even a guy on here that's like, once you got to the Elden Ring thing, I was out. And, let's see newest comments on here. There are people who are saying great video, but, and I'm not doubting that he has good videos here. But he uses a lot of ridiculous example. He tried simplifying a lot of stuff. He simplified Elden Ring to a role. And it's like, no, the game has tons of ways you can play. Just like Zelda, you have a lot of room for experimentation and learning from the game, and using different movesets and abilities, spells, all sorts of stuff. There's a lot. It's like a playground of things given to you. And you're just ignoring all of that to simplify it down to that. Maybe that's the way some people play it, and you can play it that way technically, but that is not the way that all people play it. it's kind of like the thing with Jim Sterling where he said, "Oh, when he made the quote, every game is political." This is just an example. That is already a wrong quote because there's bound to be games that aren't political. Like, is Pong political? You're already wrong with just making a quote that already has everything in the title. Now, if you did a title like, there are a lot of games with political messages, then yeah, sure. But he did everything, and that's already set in stone as wrong. And that's what you're kind of doing with this. You're assuming that stuff. And it already puts it wrong. I do think I agree with this one. I completely agree with you. I love the Callisto Protocol. I'd like a sequel. I think that a sequel would actually, kind of like Evil Within. I hated Evil Within. I had so many problems. I hated the camera. I hated the controls. I hate the hub area. It's really annoying when they try to make you figure out what you're supposed to do next, and like the camera's so zoomed in on your freaking back of your head. The game wasn't really scary. There were a lot of levels in broad daylight. The combat wasn't really fun. I had some weird hit detection problems in that game. It relied on some really cheap jump scares and being like psychological versus the sake of being psychologically like weird. And I felt like it even ripped off some things like Boxhead from Pyramid Head. Like, that's, how could you not see that? Especially the way he's utilized. But I think the sequel is really underrated, and I think it's genuinely really good, and I think the Callisto Protocol could have the same thing. Same with Horizon, but I felt somehow Horizon sequel was still just as good. It definitely had things that improved, but something there felt missing for me. Like, there could have been way more potential, and I feel like that would be the same thing with Callisto. I hope it gets a sequel so that it's better. But I think Glenn Schofield wouldn't like it if you're using a defense of his game in order to harass and attack people. That is not right. That is not nice. It's not good. It's not healthy. There's some really, like, words can kill. You want to be careful with what you say. And I try to be careful too. I hope I am. And I apologize when I'm not. And I hope nobody takes the things I say as rude or disgusting or anything. If I do go out of hand, I truly am sorry in those moments. And I've even apologized before. Sometimes I just forget I even made the comment. And I don't always make big comments, but I have made a lot. Mostly because of the problem I have where if I think of something or whatever, I can't let it go, and then like I just write it down, and like it's just, yeah. But I think I do think that like the things, I don't usually say something unless I feel like there is something meaningful to it or something that can add to the conversation, hopefully. But this is like the first time I've been attacked by someone because of this. And I've run into rude people. I've had rude people who attacked a friend of mine because they said, I don't care that your girlfriend has cancer. I don't care about your life, that kind of stuff. I had somebody who was very narcissistic and being rude, sorry. I guess I'm kind of like Jeff Goldblum in that way, where like I repeat the uhs. But with like giant ass paragraphs. And it's just, I don't think you should use a platform this way. And I feel like this person does wake me up a little bit in a way that like it does make me hopefully question, like, am I nasty to people? I hope I'm not. And while that is a good feeling, I still don't think that a person like this should be doing the stuff they do. It's really nasty, it's unhealthy, it's disgusting, and it's very rude. And once again, there's worse things I could say. I know I use QTV, but I can't think of anybody else, and once again, there's, I think, worse people. Yeah, well, there are worse people, actually. Funny enough. But like I couldn't think of anything else, especially since he was so fresh in mind as this ridiculous over-the-top person at the time. There's so many other worse people you could compare that kind of personality, I guess, disorder to. It's just ridiculous. I hope they do get help or that they rethink their stuff. Yeah, I even said in my comment I couldn't find my comment. So what I said in my comment, I also added more to the end of this comment. Yeah, there we go. Maybe you should... okay, no. I already said you should read this. I put in there. I guess that's a typo. So I wanted to add the reasons save me. Okay, yeah, I have some typos. As sure. Angry Joe having a bad attitude. We don't start out about it. We can joke around also. By the way, I want to add that. I joke around when I rant from time to time, and I try not to have a very negative attitude to the point that I feel like I don't know how to word it. Reasons saying me or having a bad attitude. We don't start out with a bad attitude. It is more understanding because stuff like microtransactions, NFTs, and loot boxes, I've already said that. Though I do feel like some of his rants on Superman get a little childish and flawed. And I'm getting a very QTV tone from this, where it's like you believe so deeply you're in the right, you'll take it out on whoever until you get your way, or the last word. This person, once again, I feel like they're using the whole it's your opinion thing. I used the that's your opinion, but jokingly. I even put the Jeff Bridges thing. And he kept repeating himself too, which I do a lot, but man, like that was ridiculous. And he does it to pretty much everyone. But he uses it as a scapegoat to basically reword, or he'll actually say it too, where he genuinely thinks your opinion doesn't matter, and that his is objectively right. So, and yeah, it's just really disgusting. I don't want to say that name or compare it, but it's the only thing at the time that I can think of. Other than comparing to Unitologists in Dead Space. I probably spelled that wrong, but whatever, what I'm feeling, and it is not good to have. The video is really hard to get through too. Like I only watched it halfway, I will admit that, but that's because it was really hard to get through, and I was already having a ton of problems, as you can see my criticisms through my comment as I go on. But I'm feeling, I already talked about the James and Leon, so he simplified Leon and James Sunderland story that, yeah, they start out simple, like drunk cop, late on the job, but they develop as characters. Leon went from a kind of rookie cop to taking up a lead role, and they even simplified, like, he's chasing Ada and her booty in that first kiss. It's like, for a video game, there's a lot more development for them than there is for, like, a Disney princess. And Disney princesses are remembered, and they're still somewhat well developed, though I can't always say that for the princes. And they have, like, personality and development changes as the story goes on. There's also a lot of storytelling in the environments and the monsters and such that are telling of the main character. And there have been other main characters in other games, and by like Resident Evil, they have an image of Resident Evil 4 as well. It's like that's Leon's second game, I think. So he's got plenty of development, and you're just using the simplified part. And simplification isn't always a bad thing, but in this case, I don't think it gets the points across, especially when there's more to that character as the game goes. And the games have more room for developing those, as well as other things helping to contribute, other characters or other things in the environment or storytelling that help to contribute to how that character developed throughout the game. So, and then the Elden Ring dodging simulator is simplification of every tool you are given to use, and there is more to learning you're fighting, and more like completely like simplifying Zelda Breath of the Wild. You know, there is more to it. I could reword this. I think it does need some rework because, like, once again, that's my biggest fault is like I rush through these sometimes, but at the same time, I do think I get the criticisms across. Just a bad attitude and simplified point of view of it. Just me in bad mood and hurt to watch. It felt manipulative. It did feel manipulative. It felt, and not just in the video, but he was using some of the criticism, some of the like the thing of like saying that's your opinion, and then basically rewording "I'm objective and you're not" with my opinion to attack people, and he was manipulating people through those means. Also, like Sekiro uses a boss multiple times, like Genshiro, I believe that's his name. It serves more as a story purpose because he simplified the fact that, like, even though Callisto Protocol had reused the same boss multiple times, and all games like RE2 Remake and such have used those bosses, like Birkin, served more of a purpose there, and boss over time and have different move sets and stuff. Probably mostly the remake did that better. The bosses are great, and that was one of the complaints people had. But once again, the other with that, and I didn't think of this until now, was that's based on an older game. Of course, it's going to have those. The fact that something like Callisto Protocol, that's this really good-looking game, and it's a modern-day game, has the same faults in others, it's not a good thing to its reputation right now. At least another game has the excuse. It is outdated, but that's because it came out many years ago. So there's just multiple criticisms and problems with that. I noticed that some of the comments are kind of almost rude and in a bully sense. I don't know how to feel there. Just be mad or want to rant. It feels identifying rants too. Mean that rant equals being a bully to someone or giving you that motive or feeling that you take, for example, a person working a job at like a Starbucks cashiers or something. So to be rude to them, like a bad or rude customer, or B, respectfully either try to diffuse the situation while helping out that customer, or get your boss or something to take care of the situation, or kindly ask them to leave. You do that. You do the rude thing, and if it encourages rude behavior, then they're no better. That's not good. I brought up that comment I was seeing was just the positive, when I know I saw just as many rude ones, and I'm sorry for that. I was talking about the comments I was seeing of his. Wasn't even a game I mentioned, or I meant. I actually think it was a title bad, but weak, and kind of Bloodborne-ish, but still had character and presence, and I actually like the gameplay of that. I think the gameplay is not bad. It's like a slightly better RE7, though RE7 is purposely trying to follow the formula of previous games because they're returning back to the formula, so you could even argue that point, where Callisto Protocol is it following Dead Space? I don't know. Kinda is, but at the same time it's different, and it's like you kind of get confused sense and message from that. Yeah, and this person, here's a good one. This person says saying Silent Hill isn't scary may not be scary, others will. I like that one. That's a good one. Yeah, I can say as well. Saying it's not scary is just subjective, not fact. I don't know what he means there. Not saying that you can't say that. Okay, what's this person say? They say ER. not saying that you can't come over like your opinions are fact and everyone else who says otherwise is wrong. It's almost like you can't take others' opinions. You're doing the same claim that people are being, ironically, in the video you titled hypocrite. And then of course he replies, I say that like it's a bad thing, which it's not a good thing. And it hasn't been good so far. Just like everyone else who states their negative opinions on this game. So now he's classifying them as negative. So he is trying to simplify something or make it in his point of view of like it's a bad comment by using the term negative. Anyone else who thinks otherwise is wrong to them. I like how you tried. I mean, there are negative, it depends. But like, I feel like this using it correctly. Anyone who thinks otherwise is wrong to them. I like how you tried to use reverse psychology. You're using that. And now you're doing it again. It's like reverse psychology inception on me with that, but you didn't. They're not using reverse psychology. They said it straightforward. I said it straightforward. The fact that I'm not the only one that feels that way, and I'm finding other comments saying the same thing, is a very telling thing, not a good thing. Multiple people are seeing through your bullcrap. But you didn't seem to get the examples or understanding of what we said about things like Silent Hill. You heard something about what you like, right? Once again, simplifying things as if they don't think people haven't watched the video through. And why would they, with the kind of attitude, tone, and just bad the video is when it comes to that? I do think the videos are edited well, and I think if he didn't make this video, I think he's a perfectly fine channel. But then he made this video, and I don't know what his comments are like on his other videos, but they could be just as rude. I just don't know. But I don't think his other videos are as bad. It's this one that's just really out there and ridiculous. Something about what you like, right? That's how it is for everyone who enjoys something, even if that was how you took it. But your video is basically doing that same thing. Once again, being hypocrite. Even if that was how you took the examples, I mean, your title alone is basically doing that. Samples or opinions, seems like you can't take someone else's opinion either. I think this guy does have some mental issues. It says, I've actually not played a Silent Hill game, so I can't say if I like it. People dislike stuff like every day, but I don't go on defensive rants about it. Their dislike for something doesn't ruin my enjoyment of it. People's dislikes seem to be ruining Callisto for you. I'm glad you enjoyed Callisto. That's what games are supposed to be, but people do have dislikes for it that are genuine. Like you have likes that are genuine. You can also defend something without being an angry dickhead and insulting people. Exactly. Once you start insulting people, you've already lost the argument. I'm not trying to use reverse psychology on you. I'm calling it how I see it. Don't call people hypocrites when you're one yourself. It's not a good look for you. I totally agree. Frickin' Matt D here. I kind of want to subscribe to you. And of course he replies because he always has to have the last word, which was another ironic thing I brought up. And yes, this video technically is that. But after this, I am genuinely know that he will probably be a hypocrite of that by coming back again, trying to have the last word. I did block him though, so he can't say anything. Of course, he makes a long-ass message. You're definitely on the slow side, I see. That is already rude. That is very rude. Like, you shouldn't call someone slow, honestly. But man, you're saying they're dumb. You're basically saying they're dumb without using the word dumb. So it's okay for you to call me names, but you're offended over me saying the word hypocrite. Question mark. Well, guess what? You're a hypocrite for even saying that. Lol. What? You trying to say hypocrite? No, he said it straightforward. Oh, I was supposed to be kind. Sorry. That's not nice, though. It's not nice either. And I'm sorry I called you dumbass. Dumbass. Joking aside, the Silent Hill and Callisto things brought up are exactly what others do as well. Okay. I don't get it. I guess you were so offended by our tone that you seem to miss that. Okay, no, your tone is stupid, and people did catch what you were saying, because other people are pointing out the other problems, such as the Elden Ring one. The simplifying of that and the utilization of it. People had their genuine dislikes of a game, and I expressed my genuine likes on it. What exactly was so hurtful with the supposed name-calling that goes to the extent of ridiculing a person in the video? Name-calling? First off, I don't think they said anything about you name-calling. They just said you were being rude. Just like everyone. Factual otherwise is wrong to them. I'm trying to read his previous yeah, nobody said name calling. You like, it's like you're throwing things out in the wind. You're crapping them out. Alright, there wasn't any, so you're being kind of a sarcastic dick. Sorry, but Gene Wilder was better in Willy Wonka. You're just so blinded because... No, you're blinded by your own blindness. Blindception, bit. Because, like I've said many times, everyone wants to be right in their own mind and something that was brought up. You probably did say that many times, but not in these comments. This is actually the first time you're saying it to this guy. And even if you said that in your video, people probably couldn't make it through your video already because it had so many just ridiculous things about it that were out of place and just weird. It's not a good look for you to cry about how we supposedly acted in the video by doing the exact same thing. You hypocrite. You know what? That's actually name calling right there. Just using the way he's using hypocrite. Yeah, because the other guy said you call people hypocrites. And ironically, he's being hypocritical himself. He's throwing the word hypocrite around. He just made the whole name-calling thing he said earlier hypocritical to the hypocrite thing. Wow. The only one crying about anything is you. The whole video was you crying, and whenever someone disagrees with you, you still cry. There was no supposed way you acted. It was very clear that you are what you're calling others. You seem to be a person who is incapable of having a civil conversation. You expressed your genuine likes for it in a very negative way. You can like things without resorting to petty insults and silly voices. I don't know, I like silly voices. It doesn't make you look professional, and instead, just what I said, professional. This guy's a freaking genius. Professional, and instead, like an angry child, you could have been more respectful. Exactly what I've been saying. Be respectful in your video without coming across as a couple of petulant children. I love this guy. Oh my gosh, it keeps going on. This guy is a child. He just can't stop. And he's repeating himself. Lol, no, I'm not, buddy. Seems like you're upset because you can't win your pathetic argument with me. Now he's just being a dumbass. I'm sorry to throw that word again, but whoa, now I can't even defend that now. He's literally coming at this guy, repeating the same stuff. I don't even want to read this one. This one's just doing a lot of... It's being more rude. I'm seeing you're hilariously infantile. Infantile? What? I don't know. And then he's throwing the opinion thing around again. I mean, they're both going at each other. I don't care about winning arguments. I'm just pointing out that you come across as a petulant, hypocritical child. This seems to have upset you. By the way, if a silly voice hurts your feelings, then you really need to put some big boy pants on because you're hilariously infantile. And that's exactly why you're a hypocrite. I want to talk to this guy. This guy is freaking awesome. Um, you haven't corrected me on a single thing. In fact, you just keep proving me right. Also, a professional doesn't have to tell people that he's a professional. You're not convincing me. Yeah, you have to let your own word, your own personality, everything you do speak for itself. And do what I said, used, for example, with the cashier example. Like, you don't be an asshole back. And I mean, we're only human, we do that, but this is over the top that has already crossed the line. And by the way, this isn't the only person he's done this to. And yes, they make just as long comments, but from what I'm reading through these comments, he seems to be repeating himself, and sadly the other person does have to repeat themselves, but they at least alter things without being too hypocritical themselves or rude. And they have really good points. They have genuine points where this person is now being that same thing. And he brings up the C again. You're trying to use reverse psychology. He's just repeating, like I just said. Wow, this guy is so messed up. What is this guy? This is not a human. This has got to be a robot. A really angry robot. Like, even if you do go into more details here, which is another long-ass message, jeez, you already broke apart your whatever you're about to say by saying, repeating yourself. He is not using reverse psychology. Do you even know the definition? Here, I'm going to look up the definition of reverse psychology for you, you dumbass. I'm probably going to end it after this. So, don't... person is better. So reverse psychology is a technique involving the assertion of a belief or behavior that is opposite to the one desired, with the expectations that this approach will encourage the subject of the persuasion to do what is actually desired. I don't think he's doing that, though. I do think he is repeating himself, but I think he's... First off, it's no different with you. Second off, he's doing it because you keep repeating yourself and you keep doing rude-ass things. He is saying it how it is. I do believe that. You are being a big man-child. I wouldn't even say you're a man. You're a disgrace to your name, other than the evil part. You are kind of evil after seeing more of these messages. I didn't think this rabbit hole was going to get as deep as QTV. It's just as freaking ridiculous. That involves advocating for a behavior that is different than the desired outcome. So, yeah, I don't think he's doing that. Yeah, here you go. Here's some examples, too. Did you hear Madison and Emily are doing that board game night? Kind of boring, if you ask me. I was never right for you anyway. Go find yourself someone who really excites and interests you. I don't think he's doing stuff similar to that. I think you're doing that. You are the one doing the reverse psychology, if anything. But in a really rude, suggestive, disgusting way. Or not suggestive in like a sexual sense, per se. But yeah, you're doing it very hypocritical, very rude. I would say let people think for themselves, let people state the opinions they want, let people make up their own mind, same as you, but don't be a jackass about it. That is very wrong, that is very rude, and from what I'm seeing here, by the way, that guy finally stopped replying. He realized this guy's not worth it. Once again, I said in my description, he probably shouldn't be worth it for me to go after, but I do think that, I mean, first off, my channel is small, so what effect will it have anyway? And second, that's actually a benefit in this case, finally. And second, like, it's just not a healthy environment. It's not a healthy thing in general for people. So, once again, and I'm probably repeating myself in some ways too, but man, hold on, I kind of want to subscribe to that guy. I love that guy's comments. He's freaking awesome. What was his name? Matt D? Dude, you just earned yourself a subscriber. Where are you? I'm trying to find him. Why'd I back out? Now I gave him another view, sadly. I hope people make up their own minds and that people figure out this guy's not good, that hopefully this guy realizes that the error of his ways and that he becomes a better person because of it. There he is. Matt D. I want to go to your channel. He's got Sonic. 1 subscriber. Oh, that's sad. This guy's got no videos, 1 subscriber, and this guy freaking... he was a genius. I loved what he had to say. So you got a subscriber, man. And you know what? I'm gonna hit that bell. Even though you don't make videos. I don't care. I love your... Is that Sonic? Yeah. I love your Sonic image, by the way. Though I think he needs to wear gloves. Those were good comments. I liked those comments. The other guy kept, like, making himself look like a jerk more and more as his long-ass comments went on. And man, you know what? I don't feel bad making a long-ass comment because I think I only had 1 long-ass comment and then the rest were tiny. He had multiple in that. Jeez. Never mind my long-ass comments. Frick that guy. But seriously, I do think the way of what I said in the description. I hope the guy gets help. I hope he learns from his mistakes to become a better person or a better developed character, kind of like the characters in some of the video games mentioned. And I hope he comes out of this a better person. I don't think that's how it's going to go because this video and the stuff said in the comments doesn't seem like it's going to go that route, but I hope the person becomes a better person, that if they have a mental health issue or if there are genuine problems they cause that they can fix themselves, or maybe they've been bullied in the past. I don't know. Or had a bad life. I've been bullied in the past. This is bullying right here. I'm 29 years old, and like the fact that I was bullied, I've made comments like the one I made in his video before, and I've never had that kind of harassment until recently. This is a great way to start off the new year. And I just want to end this. Yeah, I saw somebody came onto my video. I'm sorry, I was about to end the video. I don't want it to be too long, and I usually do long-ass videos, so I'm sorry. But thank you for joining. I hope people do see this video. Yeah, I did not like what this guy was saying, and it just really hurt. But yeah, once again, at the beginning of the video where I mentioned those other YouTubers and the ones I was going to watch, you should check them out. Because they're respectful, they do have good perspectives on what they like about the Callisto protocol without coming across rude or simplifying other games or using games in just really weird ways to compare or use examples from, even though it makes no sense, or they're just, once again, simplifying it down. Just after reading more of these messages with the rabbit hole, it just got worse, and I just realized this guy is just somebody that's going to be really hard to help, and sadly you might even have to give up on him. But I do genuinely think that hopefully he does get help, and that he sees the errors of his actions in the comments. I don't even care about it anymore. I pointed out problems with the video, but I don't even care about the video anymore. Stuff is not good. It's not a healthy environment once again, and it's really disgusting. Yeah, I watched Avatar, by the way, today. long ass freaking movie. It kind of dragged. I think it needed to be trimmed down a little bit. But yeah, I think that's all I'm gonna add. I want to make this as short as I can, which probably is also long anyways. I hope you enjoyed. If you did enjoy, remember to like, share, and subscribe. Leave your comments below, and I'll see you next time. And hit that little bell for notifications. Keep up to date with the latest content and/or videos. Yeah. I would even say that guy has better edited videos than mine, and does do better jobs with his previous videos. If he just kept to his other videos, I don't think there would have been any problems. Maybe, I don't know. Once again, I don't know how his comment sections are for those. I haven't checked. But if he just stuck to those, then I don't think there would have been as much problems. It's this video in particular that just really showed what kind of personality this person had, unless, once again, I didn't see his personality previously to that. The reason I came across him is it was actually recommended to me, just like the other channels I mentioned. I watched the video like halfway through, and man, that was like one of the hardest videos to get through, and it had to be like one of the rudest encounters I've had on YouTube in a long time. I had somebody back a while back that didn't like my opinion on Shenmue 3, but I don't think they were as rude, and I don't think I wasn't rude back. So I don't even remember the comment, honestly, and it was so long ago. But I think I still hearted their comment and such. And I usually make it clear in the videos that not to be rude, or to make sure that what you say is appropriate. I have had people who have put things in my comments, though, where they try to link advertisements and such. Or even porn sites. Wonderful. I have to remove that crap whenever it happens, and then tell them to get that stuff out of my chat, please, or whatever. So yeah, that's about it for now. That conversation went somewhere else at the end there. But I will see you guys next time. Have a nice day, and goodbye. See ye. Oh, that's right. I have to click the frickin' other button to get that.